once you recognize someone as safe, and here's just a few things about that person, they're going to accept who you are, where you are. They will not be judgmental, but they will also say things and do things that are helpful and healthy for you. And you have to learn to recognize those things, as well as the ones and the people that don't do that. Okay? So once you've found someone, I want to encourage you to ask, don't just assume it. Ask, because we all need to recognize other people's boundaries and limitations, right? And their availability. Ask them if they will be willing to be someone that you can communicate with on a level that works for them and for you, when you really need it, when you're really overwhelmed with loneliness, when you're really down, when you're really struggling. Now, maybe it's even with suicidal thoughts. So I just want to touch on that, because I don't want to ignore that, because that's happening with many people. And maybe that's happening with you, or maybe it will. So that's even more serious, right? Call 988, by the way, as well. I just thought of that. Call 988, because somebody's always available to talk to if you're in really bad place. But we're talking about really bad, but it doesn't have, don't wait for it to be really bad, okay? Don't do that. Don't wait for it to be really bad. Get the help. So when you find that person, ask them, can I text you? Can I call you? Whatever ways of communicating. If it's a neighbor, can I come over? How late is another really important, or what hours are okay for them. Definitely ask what hours are okay for them. You might have two people. That would be really good to have more than one, okay? Maybe one is only available during the day, and maybe one doesn't mind. Even if you call them in the middle of the night, they might be awake enough to pick up. I don't know. So you want to ask them these things, discuss these things, find it out. Okay? And then respect that. But then if that person they care about you, and they care about your health, they care about your grief, they care about your whatever you're struggling with, then they have to be willing. So ask those questions, write it down, find out, and then when you can respect their limitations, but also know, hey, they told me I can text them anytime. It totally depends on each person, but that's so important to do, because then you have engaged to get that help. Now that person is willing and available, and then when you're desperate, it is so important, because what do we tend to want to do? We tend to isolate even more. We tend to freeze and not even go to anybody. And that's the worst. And that's what we don't need to be. So we need to set ourselves up for success, in a sense, to get that help